What could you create if you had 30 minutes to plan and 4 hours to build? Today on the show, we challenge 3 teams of 2 developers each to build what they imagine to be the future of AI native UI. And it's all going to be powered by Algolia.
See, that's how you whiteboard.
We're cooking up something good.
Any blockers?
David's code integrating with my code.
My code.
So y'all are building the whole business.
Someone has to do it.
Welcome to the Web Dev Challenge. Welcome to the Web Dev Challenge. Today, your challenge is to imagine what the future of an AI native UI might look like. And to do that, you're going to be using Algolia. And to talk a little bit about Algolia and the tools that it's going to provide to make this possible, let me toss it over to Chuck.
Thanks, Jason. My name's Chuck Meyer. I lead the DevRel team for Algolia. For those who haven't worked with Algolia before, we provide a set of hosted APIs that allow developers to quickly build search and discovery experiences for your applications. But you're going to be building something different. So you're going to be leveraging the APIs quite a bit today. We pride ourselves on speed of retrieval. The other cool thing is because we're an API-first product, we have open API specs that allow us to quickly kind of build some new tools that we can leverage today for building AI-first experiences. The first one is an MCP server. It's a way that allows LLMs to communicate to APIs like our own very quickly and efficiently. And we also have a generative AI playground, which is sort of RAG as a service. This is something that's in beta, but you've all been given access to it. And it's going to allow you to quickly build RAG-like experiences. So retrieval augmented generation, where essentially an LLM is going and pulling directly from your index and then giving a generative experience around it. So I'm hoping that these are tools that are going to allow you to kind of go beyond the traditional web or mobile application and build something really exciting and new.
To do this, we are going to give you 30 minutes to plan your apps, and your 30 minutes to plan starts right now.
So the idea is that anytime maybe we have some sort of toggle or something, where we sort of zoom out, we see space and time,
Right.
and then we could just go back to whatever point we want.
Right.
Whether that
Explore
point
that.
is explore or it's a song.
Yeah. The layering is going to be interesting. Having to spatially pack these.
There's tools for that though.
Okay.
Yeah.
I believe you. I'm Stephen Shaw.
And I'm David Korshid.
And together we are coding compadres, animation amigos, Boolean buddies, and keyframe companions. We're planning to build an AI-powered DJ who can give you recommendations, who you can tell the kind of vibe you want, and it will just automatically create that kind of playlist or recommend songs for it.
But there's a twist. This DJ can actually bend time a little bit, and so you could sort of branch off into different timelines.
Our tech stack will have Next.js in there. We'll have 3.js in there for some 3D rendering.
Really to get that whole idea of going between songs and exploring stuff in different states that the user is going to navigate through, we're going to be using state machines for that.
I think state is a very challenging thing with AI. AI tends to be sort of stateless and sort of in the moment. So I'm really curious to see how it all fits together and how you can go back and sort of pivot off of what had been done previously. See, that's how you whiteboard, right? That's awesome.
You can follow it, right?
Yeah. There's Algolia.
I love it.
That's exactly how it fits in.
Yeah.
What the shopping guide is going to be used, it's going to get the ingredients that it's looking for, and then it's going to use that part, like, based off of these ingredients, we're searching the products that we have based
So
off these
the
ingredients.
products, thank you. So shopping guide is for the products.
Because, like, once all this is, if that's done out of the way, then I can spend, like, ample time going through making sure that the recommendations are based off that shopping guide that's here. So I'm thinking of, like, 2 separate things to, like, focus on, so I'm not going down a rabbit hole of a bunch of different areas. Hello, I am Cicely.
My name is Camille Camejo.
Yeah, so this product came to mind because, like, I know, of course, everyone uses TikTok, but there's always like, try this skincare product that does that, it does this, that, and the third. And so with the idea of reimagining e-commerce, we wanted to have something that where the user can talk about like their specific needs and then find products based on those.
The tech stack that we're using is Next.js for our front end and our back end. And we're also, of course, using Algolia for all of our AI searching, our database.
And we'll also be using Gemini to get some of those smart recommendations based off of the user's needs.
I think today what I might struggle with is a little bit of the Algolia, only because it's new. So take some time with understanding Algolia's inputs, understanding its processes, and then look for the outputs that we're seeking.
I was intrigued by the fact that Camille said that she hasn't used Algolia before and she's worried about picking it up. We pride ourselves on being a really developer-friendly tool that's easy to pick up. So I'm hoping that she comes out the other side with a delightful feeling of using Algolia.
Okay, so this and then this route, I don't need that anymore. Okay, perfect.
I'm glad that came up early because I feel like had we not been aligned on that, that could have been a big problem later.
Hey, what do you want to build today? You just say like, I want to write a book, or
Okay, so kind of like how I have this in the UI, and then when we like generate or whatever.
Exactly.
Okay, perfect. So should I add like a part where it breaks it down, like on the UI? Like should I add something that breaks down like what this is saying, or?
so it's going to send this back to us.
Oh, okay.
And
We kind of figure out what we want to show. Gotcha.
But also what we can do is start enhancing it. It's like, it'll say something like, would you like me to start building the plan for your project? And it'll go in the background and start setting that up with like the steps. And I'm Michael Brown.
My name is Nadira.
So what we're planning to build today, our team name is Go Glow Up. And basically we have an AI named Glow. You basically tell her what you want to do and she'll help you break it down into manageable tasks and give you a weekly milestones and stuff like that.
I'm working on the front end, so Next.js.
And so on the back end, we're using Microsoft Semantic Kernel and Azure AI. We're doing a web shop for productivity tools like calendars and notebooks and pencils. We're using Algolia to manage the
e-commerce aspect of the app.
Yes.
So like where you're able to just buy the calendars, able to buy the notebooks that align with your goals.
I think it's the kind of thing that you could go out and try to run against today. I think it's got, they're talking through things like an e-commerce arm for revenue generation and stuff. It's, I would say maybe the most thought out idea that we've seen so far on the show.
How you feeling?
I feel good.
Yeah.
Of course, once we actually start, there's gonna be like moments of like but overall, we have a clear flow on what we want to do, and that's the biggest part. Like making sure that our planning was solid.
Plan, check in, but home plan and then my plans if we have time, and then explore if we have time. Okay. And I think that's it.
All right.
Cool. I guess I thought there was like e-commerce.
It's okay. It's okay.
I like the anxiety. This is good.
You like the
This is what we're
anxiety?
going for. Just like a low level of panic at all times is what we're headed for on this show. I'm a little concerned with everybody's scope, but I didn't see anything that like made me think, nah, you can't do that, right? So I feel like everybody did a good job of thinking within the bounds of the competition, and they're making good use of the tools. So I feel like everybody's in pretty good shape here. What we're gonna do now is we are going to jump into the build phase. So you're gonna have 4 hours to build the apps you planned, and your 4 hours starts right now.
I'll use Node.js for your back end. So like everything will be through there, and I'll hide all the details of what we're doing.
Okay.
So I'm going to put a chat API, and it'll say send message, and it'll return the message from the LLM
Okay.
for display on the UI.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, cool.
Oh, checklist. Right here of us, like the things that we ended up doing. So you said yes.
Yep.
This is that. Cool. This is doing that. Awesome. Cool. We did this.
In the process of doing that right now. Cool.
All right.
What's this chat view component?
That's just for testing the chat responses because the DJ can right now do two possible responses. Either it could respond with song suggestions, or you're just chatting with it like, hey, what's this genre called? Or what's the lead singer of the band or something like that.
Okay. Hey, Team Gold Glow Up, how's it going?
It's going pretty well. Yeah, we still have some stuff to do, but it's coming along. Have the UI together. Help me become a UX designer. The response for the model will come here.
Right on.
So we want to keep it like conversation based. And the next thing that I need to work on is actually using the response to create the plan.
Right.
Yeah, so
Got it.
so once we get to the plan aspect of it, then we'll kind of break things down, kind of similar to how the UX is. Where is it? Right here. So like it'll have like the different steps and the things that you can kind of check it off. So that's the next thing.
So the front end's coming together. How's it going on the back end with the model?
Oh yeah, so right now I'm working in the AI Foundry. We're building in the initial instructions for the prompts. I gave it a prompt asking like, oh, I want to write a book. And it's set up milestones and things like that. So from beyond there, we'll be able to say like, also prompt in, it's like, hey, would you like to purchase a notebook to help track your goals and keep on task?
Right on. How's it going over here?
It's going pretty well. I'm working on sort of the state management side of things. So essentially the user could go between exploring different songs and then going into a certain song.
So right now this is sort of the core, all the API calls are in place, and now we got to put some intelligence into it.
Exactly.
Very nice. Cool. What do you want to tell me about the front end UI? I'm getting a sneak piece of it here.
Yeah, not too much in place yet, just kind of the bare minimum, but we've got 3D scene rendering that eventually we're gonna have like the actual nodes of the timeline rendered out in the 3D space, so that you can transition between camera moves.
Any blockers right now?
David's code integrating with my
Steven's
code.
My code.
What have you got going on here?
Yeah, we have a product page to begin with. It's a space called Outtakes,
Okay.
and it's a skincare products recommendation platform. What we're doing is we're rendering some of those products straight from the Algolia database. It's displaying its name, price, the size of the makeup products, and now we're looking to make sure that it renders aesthetically pleasing. And then for our chatbot, that's where Cicely is working on.
Okay.
So with our chatbot right now, it has all the functionality that we initially talked about. Like the user is able to talk to the agent based on their skincare concerns and get the ingredients. We have that now, and so what I'm working on is from that final result now, parsing those ingredients so that we're able to like plug those into Algolia to search to get those specific products that they need based on their skincare concerns.
Cool.
So, yeah.
If we pick like certain keywords or something like that, then we could show like, yeah, hey, Algolia is really fast at delivering those.
Yep.
But you could also use RAG, and I think we're going to make it so that they sort of pop in anyway. So you get some instant results, and then you get some more fine-tuned results later.
I think that's a smart way to do it. And honestly, that's what a lot of folks in the search space have done, is essentially like short tail, long tail, right? So short tail keyword is always fast. It's always going to bring stuff back. And then if you want to get additional results, then you can start to get into semantic and vector, which has a 10x latency, but can give you additional results after the fact. So I think that's kind of a smart way to do it.
I'll do that then.
Yeah, and obviously, like, we're still kind of in the beta stages with the RAG stuff, and I think once we get to streaming, it'll be better, but unfortunately, that doesn't help us today.
Right. No, it's all good. I'll use a hybrid approach.
Excellent.
Are you doing a bunch in that chat view?
Yeah, just in the chat view, but mostly logic. I'm not touching the UI.
Okay.
So basically, when the last message, so let's say you're talking to this, and based on what it's doing, like if the last message is song suggestions, then it's actually going to change the, it's going to basically add a new node to that graph so that you see the suggestions. So
nice.
Yeah, it's going to magically happen.
Insert magic here.
bad. Oh yeah, your partner's not here, huh?
I'm not worried about that.
Okay.
Don't worry about your project. Worry about your project.
What you doing over here?
Minding my business.
Okay. It's a lot of code over there.
It is. It's code that works.
Okay.
You don't got something to build over there?
No.
Are you sure?
We good over here. So I want to see what you're doing.
All right.
I just want to see.
Once we get the response from the conversation, I need to get the final like ingredients, like based on your skincare needs. Here's what you need. I'm trying to pull that as like a JSON out of this conversation. So that's what I'm trying to do right now.
Oh, cool. That was good. Let's see what's going on over here. What you got going on? Oh my gosh, that's so cool.
What types of songs do you like?
R&B.
I want some R&B. Cool, here we go.
This is cool. Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. I came over here to hate, but I can't really hate on this.
Going into the other components, making sure that it's consistent, how it's being used, because originally I had the responses returning as like plain text, but I've changed, one of the recommendations was to change that to JSON, and so I haven't ran through the chat feature yet to make sure
Confirm the JSON. Okay.
Yeah,
let me know how that JSON should
that's
look
what
in
I'm
the chat.
scared of, so I'm breathing hard,
It's
because I don't
gonna
know
work.
what's about to happen right now.
It'll work.
I feel like I've only heard your voice like twice today.
That's probably 2 times too many. When's the part of the show with the physical challenges?
That's coming up actually. Yeah, we're inflating the sumo suits in the back right now.
That'll get us immunity, right?
Right, yeah.
Just making sure.
So when it says please save your goal, is that when I get or is there a...
So right now, we're just returning pre-canned responses.
Okay.
I'm hooking up the LLM right now.
Oh, you're hooking up. Oh, okay. I'm like, wait, what? Okay. And so the part where I was saying like check for plan ID, that are you adding that piece in as well now? Yeah. Okay. So then I can route to the next page.
Yep.
Okay. All right. So I'm just gonna start working on the plan page, the details page. And
Okay.
All right, let me sneak in between you two here. So talk to me. What do you got going on?
Well, we have the full platform pretty set up.
Okay.
We have all of our main components that the user will have to interact with. So they have their products grid. They can go through the different pages. You have the main product names, the types, the prices that are shown, even the sizes of the skincare products.
And so from your side, you really like images, and then you're kind of feature complete.
Yeah.
Okay. And then Cicely, how are you feeling?
I'm feeling okay. Kind of went down a rabbit hole with vibe coding, and so it's kind of my outputs are not what I was expecting from the beginning.
Okay.
So trying to figure out with the new features that I've added in, how to go back and make sure that like the baseline functionality is still there. So yeah.
Coming into the home stretch here. How you feeling?
We've got a lot of the pieces working. I'm getting the like spatial timeline in place, and so you can actually like navigate between nodes, and so it's the bones are there. It's just not covered in flesh. So
Got it. Okay, so we've got a skeleton.
yes.
All right. Okay. How are you feeling on the back end part?
The AI suggestions are working, Algolia is working. We just need to add some more loading states and make sure that it's doing the right thing.
So what's standing between you and like what you consider your MVP?
Steven's approval.
All right, Steven, what's standing between you and approval?
I'm very harsh. No, I want just things to fit on the screen.
Right.
With 3D space, it's really hard to just make sure that things are actually showing up on the screen and not overflowing.
Sure.
And then we'll at least have the overall
Something to demo?
approach. Yeah. Nice.
Coming up on the end, how's it going?
all right, so it's going good so far. So we finally integrated the backend aspect of it.
And so is this loading from, like I know you were gonna hook in the LLM and everything, is that all happening right now?
Right now, we're in the final stages of adding in the LLM.
Cool, okay. And so you've got UI, like the front end was kind of it looks like you're pretty much done here,
Yeah,
right?
pretty much. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
So like I'm just like, yeah.
What's left for you to hit?
So right now I'm working on this page, like my plans, where you can see all of your plans. So
Cool.
the main part of the application is almost done. So,
Nice, nice, looking good.
All right. Cool. That should be it. Yes. Okay. All right. That was good. Okay.
this is like very frustrating. Oh, I can't change the name of this index.
That's a challenge, everybody. That's right, hands up, off the keyboard. If this looks like fun and you want to try it out yourself, we've got a hackathon going on right now. Head to this URL for details, and maybe you're going to win some prizes. We didn't set you an easy task today, and y'all decided to like go above and beyond on what you wanted to deliver. So I'm super excited to see what you came up with. Since y'all are sitting closest to me, Nadir and Michael, do you want to show us what you got?
Sure
Sure.
thing.
All right.
So our app actually came in two parts. The back end is built around the chat agent. And what I focused on was training the model to behave as a productivity coach. So when we come in and say, I want to run a marathon, it gives you some encouragement and then also breaks it into SMART goals. And then Nadira took care of bringing all of that into a friendly UI rather than just a pure chat application.
This is Goal Glow Up. Turn your goals into actionable plans. So how do we start? Welcome to the Goal Creation Wizard. Let's start by defining your goal. What is something you want to achieve? All right, so let's see. I want to become a UX designer. Great. Your goal is, I want to become a UX designer. Now, let's make it specific. What are the exact details of what you want to accomplish? The exact details could be, I want to be able to get a job where I can be creative and design web apps. Okay? Okay, that's a good way to measure it. Is your goals achievable? So kind of similar to what Michael was saying, where we're going through those smart, actionable questions, and it's going to keep prompting you with those. And then from there on, we move on to, so like this C plan details, this is the part that we would have implemented where once you finish all of your smart questions, it would take you to that page. It would automatically take you to that page. So I just added the link here so we're able to see it. So when you go here, this is like, okay, become a UX designer. So we have you keep track of your overall progress, and these are all of the steps. So like within 1 to 3 months, you'll build your foundation, 4 to 9 months, and you can check these off, like kind of like a to-do list to say like, okay, I accomplished this, you can move on to the next one and the next one. And this is the piece where we added Algolia in, so tools to help you with your goals. So if you need a notebook, go here. If you click on this, it'll take you to Amazon or wherever, and you'll be able to purchase this notebook to help you with your goals as well. So basically what's happening here is this build plan, click. This is the button that you guys, that we use to generate this actually initiates the model. So when you say start, if like show start, so if show start is true, it'll initiate the model, initiate the wizard. And so from there on, then when it sends a response, it'll be a response based on whatever prompt you sent. I wanted to make sure it was like more of a conversation when I did this. So basically just use like a string array so that, and every time you added something else to the array, it just kept the previous and it just added it at the end. We got Algolia to work, Algolia search. That we had run into some issues because it wasn't understanding the index name that we created. So, I had to ask for a little bit of help, but was able to figure that out last minute. So, and that was like an important piece, so.
Hi everyone, we're the McFlys. And this is our app, Altai.
All right, so what we wanted to do with this app, thinking of how I use TikTok, right? every time I see a product, I'm like, let me add that, not really knowing if it's gonna actually address my actual skincare concerns. And so what we built was a chatbot that was gonna give you the actual ingredients you need based on the things that you need. And then we have Algolia here where you can search it by product or search for specific ingredients that you need in your routine. And so in order to show that, we'll demo the conversation with the bot. So ready to build your perfect skincare routine. Let's start with your main skincare concerns. So for myself, I have a lot of hyperpigmentation. So I have dark spots. All right. And so it's going to ask some follow-up questions to build like a real profile for you. And so I also deal with dry skin. So we'll answer that. All right. Nope. And then at this point, it should go ahead and give me those routines. Hopefully there's no more follow-up questions. So y'all remember how I said at the end, like we did something last minute that kind of broke the code? What I'm concerned is that is showing up here. All right, so that is happening now, but ideally what is supposed to happen here? It's like based on your skincare concerns for your face wash, we recommend like niacinamide, giving you like a list of ingredients that you'll need. And then that's where you can intelligently search with Algolia based on like the products you're looking for or specific ingredients.
Mm-hmm. So let's say that it recommended the Avant skincare line. So we'll type in Avant, and then the Avant skincare lines will come up. And then also if you would like to look up
niacinamide.
Niacinamide. So all of these have niacinamide in them.
And then something cool with Algolia, niacinamide is actually spelled wrong there, but Algolia still was able to find products with that. And ideally, had we not been scoped down to 4 hours, what would have happened here is after that conversation was done, we had an idea of a little box with recommendation that would have displayed the actual products. Like based on that, here is exactly what you need. Mm-hmm. But we ran out of time, 4 hours. So yeah.
Yeah, this is so cool. We have front end and back end is done in next.js. And so we have our backend API routes are kind of here in the chat folder here. And then mainly it's these components that we're using. So mainly it's in the homepage, we have our products. And in products, this is the bulk of how that page just rendered. So first we had to start off by connecting our Algolia API app IDs and API keys. And then in products, we have our InstantSearch. Literally this one line it's not just this one line with Algolia, but I mean, when you're rendering it, it is just mainly this one line that gets all that data. And then we have our search bridge. The grid, and then pagination. So very simple rendering, and most of the work was done by Algolia.
Mm-hmm. And then when we were talking about limitations, I just realized exactly where and why the code broke. So when we go into the chat, it's set up with prompts to ask to make sure you're able to get the user's profile. But as we were trying to do that last part on making recommendations with Algolia, I had to change it from plain text to a JSON file. Not to a JSON file, but to JSON. That way the ingredients could be parsed and then make those recommendations. And so that messed up the conversation history here. The AI agent wasn't able to intelligently keep the conversation history. So that's why it kept asking those questions again and again at the end, because it's not the format that I initially went in with hey, based on this, keep this in mind as you're answering the questions. But now when we tried to make that last little change at the end, that changed the structure of it. So the agent wasn't able to keep track of the conversation. There were 4 other things we were trying to accomplish in 4 hours, when had we just focused on those 2 main features, we could have had an output that was exactly like we wanted it to be.
Mm-hmm. So we are the Keyframers, and we really wanted to reimagine an AI interface going beyond just a chat interface, although we do have that, and also going beyond what you think an audio player should be. So we actually wanted to play a little bit around with space and time. You could say, I want to listen to some chill electro beats. And so what it's going to do is it's going to call an LLM and actually think about what songs fit that mood, fit that genre, fit whatever you want to listen to. And then it's going to list it here in this really cool 3D interface. So I like Daft Punk, so we'll listen to Daft Punk. It takes you to that, and then you can't hear it, but there's a little sound.
Just imagine.
Right. Now, I really like Daft Punk, so let's listen to songs similar to Daft Punk. Here's one of the issues, though. When you call it an LLM, it does have a bunch of music knowledge, but it does take a long time to figure out all of those songs. So let's say that we listen to that instead. This is where Algolia comes in. We use the Spotify million song data sets, or at least a subset of it, to actually include a lot of songs with lyrics, so that when we want to find songs that have certain lyrics, it's actually a lot faster. We're still making an LLM call to figure out the keywords we want. So for example, I want songs about computers. Now this is going to actually hit something different. It's actually going to hit Algolia. See, that was a lot quicker, and you get a lot more results. And that's because we are hitting Algolia search directly and looking for, please ignore the song name.
We can blur that. It's fine.
We actually are giving you the ability to go back in time. So let's say I want to go back to listening to chill electro beats. I could actually go back in time, maybe pick something else. And so now it's like you're really going back in time, changing the past and sort of branching out and maybe listening to something different. This is more advanced than browser history because you're branching off from specific moments in time. It's not linear, so I could go here and be like, find me songs about Jason. It might find songs, we'll see. Okay.
Jack the Ripper.
Jack the Ripper, close enough.
Being able to kind of see the track of your progress is the idea, and then all these like branching roads, like walking down a trail. You get familiar with that trail, and you know each little path and where it goes and how they all connect. So the idea there is to patch into like your spatial awareness for interacting with the computer.
All right, so first of all, the state management. I'm using a library that I created called XStateStore. If you're not familiar, it's sort of a mix between Zustan and Jotai. Really easy to use, really great for hackathons like this one. And in the App Store, we're representing a few things. First of all is the graph, which I'll get to in a bit. And then the mode, whether we're looking at the entire timeline or a single thing, and messages to just keep track of all of our chat messages. The graph is the really interesting part because that's what makes this futuristic interface work. The graph is comprised of nodes and edges, and each node could be, for example, a list of songs that you could explore, the song search results that it found, or an individual song that you could play. And so that's why when you go back in time and you're like, you know what, I actually want to search for or to select a different song, it creates a branch from that. And so that's why we needed to represent those as nodes and edges. And then Stephen did a really good job, like just showing the transition between all of those.
So the overall approach with the 3D is using React 3 Fiber. So this is a Next.js site. So it's all React rendered, and using React 3 Fiber, we can actually reference all those things within our JSX. So like here's the code for rendering the robot. It's all just coded out. It's not a 3D model or anything. So it's set up in there with its own geometry, and the colors and everything are all set up within there, and actually rendering HTML DOM elements within the 3D scene. So that's how we were able to get like the song details and everything in there.
We accomplished a lot of what we wanted to get done, and everything just fit together. Algolia worked really well, and the AI was doing the AI thing that we wanted it to do for the most part. It was really interesting to see at least a fraction of our vision come to life.
It's really cool having smart, nerdy software engineers in the same room because it's just like, we're all solving a problem, but there's so many different ways to go about doing that. So that was really, really cool to witness.
I don't know, like once we started, I feel like all the pressure just started coming. I started forgetting how to do simple things, and I'm just like, why don't I know how to create a component? Like it was just little things. You know, I still feel like we did pretty well for the time that we had.
Everyone came with their A game, and it was amazing to watch it all come together.
You can have a great plan and it would be like the 45-minute mark on an hour project and you can hit a huge bug. But it really ends up being something small. So remembering that and then pushing through got us through it all. And I would say I definitely am taking Algolia with me in my pocket because even seeing everyone else's projects and how it was used, incredible usage, and want to play with it more later. So
seeing the ways that the other teams were able to just get these LLMs up and running and having the data that they needed was so impressive.
Yeah, and with the other apps, it really shows that The common denominator really is natural language, and they showed it off super, super well. It's exciting to see that UI is going in that direction.
I just want to give a shout out to all these teams. These are all products that I want. I would encourage all of these teams to continue pursuing what they were building, because I think I would use any one of these.
You know, they all got something demoable, and I think that is, as always, very impressive to see, especially when you take on something that's completely ill-defined. Like, we don't know how any of this stuff works. So the fact that people were able to get it to demos was super impressive. I think the thing about Algolia is that it's a big tool that does a lot of really cool things, and you can see where they've just nailed it. You know, when you get into InstantSearch, every single piece of that process feels amazing to use. And you can feel where they're still exploring and trying to find new ways to solve very novel problems. And, you know, it's like nobody's figured this out yet. So there's still a couple bumps and a couple things that we gotta feel out. And, you know, I'm just really excited that people are exploring this space, because I don't wanna do that work.
Yeah, well, it's kind of cool. You know, we gave folks the generative AI piece to kind of play with, and I saw sort of some points where folks were struggling a little bit, where I feel like a strong generative AI solution would probably help them through that. So I think we're going the right direction. There's just everyone's got to do a little bit more work to get where we need to be.
If you like what we're doing at Code TV and you want to see more of it, consider becoming a supporter. For as little as $5 a month, you can help us make more TV for developers.
In terms of the like software that materializes,
You following me?
Yeah. I think.
Hey, oh, you're just checking the pants? Today, I decided to dress like an adult.
What is going on in the corner, out of the corner of my eye?
I'm just modeling over here. I work really hard on these outfits.